In this video, I'm going to show you 10 secret maintenance tips that you have to do to your BMW to make it reliable. A lot of people always say BMWs are unreliable, but that's because they don't know how to maintain them. I'm going to show you exactly what you need to do, when you need to do it, and how you can do it. This goes without saying, but the first thing that you need to do is to change your oil and your oil filter every 8 to 10,000 kilometers, depending on how OCD you are about your car. I would change it every 8,000 kilometers myself, but BMW recommends like 10. So we are taking off the oil filter. As you can see, I am a professional. Can I get a rag or
You are the by hand.
raw dogging, huh? No protection. That's how I do it.
Pull it out without. Oh.
It's gonna spill, bro. Ow. It's hot. Wow. So right now we need to jack off the car and drain it all the way. So this car is gonna get drained 2 or 3 times out of different holes today. I took off the oil filter to help the oil flow out easier. Now I'm jacking up the car so I can get underneath. I'm gonna take off the entire under tray, but you don't have to do this if you're just doing an oil change. I've got a few other things planned for today, so trust me, the cover is coming off for a reason. Now I can get to the drain plug before pulling it out, and Kogu's sliding a drain pan under and makes sure it's lined up because the oil is gonna come out at an angle, especially when it's warm. You should always crack the bolt loose slowly, just in case someone over tightened it before. That's crazy.
What the? Did you actually?
Any
Not yet, not yet. No, not yet. Yeah. We're still okay. I've only driven the car for like 200 kilometers so far.
you, man, but before you.
And yeah, that oil was done. Then I'm gonna throw the drain plug back in, bring the car down, and move on to the next step. The second thing that you can do to properly maintain your car is to do an engine flush every 30,000 kilometers, which would help you clean out all the gunk from your engine as an extra step to make sure your engine remains very clean inside. So if you watched my previous video, I just got this car. This car has 100,000 kilometers. It's a 2019 car, so it has a full service history at BMW, but there are a few services that BMW does not do in your free service period, which we are gonna do today because we want this car to have a very long life. It's gonna be pushing a lot of power, and you know what you need for pushing a lot of power? You need a properly running engine. Since we've already drained all the oil, we just need to put back the old oil filter and pour in 4 to 5 liters of flush oil and let the engine idle for around 15 minutes. This step is not necessary, but it's especially useful if you don't know about the car's service history or you've been slacking on oil changes. It helps break down sludge, carbon deposits, and old oil built up inside the engine. However, this is not recommended for very old engines that have never been flushed, because it might loosen up too much sludge at once, and that can clog narrow oil passages or even get stuck in the oil pump. Next, we need to jack off the car again and drain the flush oil. I'm a professional. I'm gonna burn myself, right? What are the chances?
Why are you touching it?
Yeah, you need to wash this. It's not that hot actually. That looks quite clean, but I mean, now we know that the engine is just squeaky on the inside. Just like me when I have coffee in the morning. Can we put Loctite here? I'm gonna do that to my ex's car. With the brand new oil filter in, you gotta put 5.4 liters of 5W40 in this B48. If you have any other engine, please check your specifications online. Don't just pour 5.4 liters because I said so. The third thing that you have to do is to blow out your air filter. This is why you should not drift in like dirt. I would blow this every service, and I would actually replace it if you're using the original filter every 2 service. Since we are going to go with a cold air intake, I'm just gonna blow it because I mean this car is gonna get a proper filter with like whoosh sounds in like a week. So we don't need to buy another filter. The next very important service that we have to do to this car is the transmission fluid. BMW tells you that these transmissions have lifetime oil in them and you never have to change them, and it would last the lifetime of the transmission, but the lifetime of the transmission would be very short if you never change that trans oil. So ZF makes these transmissions and they recommend for you to change your trans oil every 80,000 kilometers, which is what we are gonna do to this car. This car has already had, oh wow, 100,000 kilometers on the clock. This oil looks very, very dirty. And trans oil, yes, it does smell very weird. It's my first time draining a trans. Have you ever drained a trans before? This car is having a serious oil leak right now. Out of every transmission that I've drained so far in my life, this is one of the dirtiest.
This, yeah.
What do you think I'm talking about? It's a family-friendly YouTube channel, bro. Get your dirty mind out of here. Did you have an assistant when you were 20? Jack does. Oh my God. This transmission fluid is absolutely disgusting. So dirty. So this is called your transmission filter. Can you find the filter? This looks like an overpriced piece of plastic. Where's the filter?
It's just like John Cena, you cannot see it.
Warning, lifetime oil, BMW oil, blah, blah, blah. Oil filling temp, 40 degrees to 50 degrees Celsius. So if it's a lifetime oil, why would they instruct us on the oil filling temp? Germans. See if this is actually a overpriced piece of plastic. Apparently there is a filter inside. They're not scamming us. These things are lifetime fluids. Why do they sell the filters?
Good question.
Why do they sell the oil?
Because all the parts for BMW is available as parts for sale. Oil is produced by the ZF company.
I'm used to screwing though.
So she said,
I've been screwing for a very long time.
I can tell.
How long have you been screwing?
Very long time. My name is Jeff.
You can tell that this kid hasn't been screwing for a very long time. Where's the screwdriver? There are no screwdrivers here, huh? Have to use our fingers. Wow. I normally use my screwdriver, but I mean, if the screwdriver is out of commission, you've been used like 4 or 5 times today, so we have to use our hands to satisfy the trans. A common mistake that some of my subscribers make that I've realized is that they send my videos to their parents without watching the whole thing. Heard that a few times. It says XHP here. Does it mean it's tuned? There is a fill plug up there which you have to open up. There are 2 things that I wanted to confirm today. First of them being, is this car using the same fuel pump as the B58 TU? Yes, it does. It looks exactly the same. Second thing is, does this car have the same transmission as the M340i? According to ChatGPT and me reading the barcodes and everything, it does come with the same exact transmission as the M340i, which would be the ZF8 HP50.
That's true.
Because the engine is able to hit 500 horsepower, but there's a lot of doubts in the market. A lot of people say that it's not possible.
I doubt if the manifold can take it that much of horse.
The manifold, we are actually designing an intake manifold for this purpose. It will be tested on this car, it will be abused on this car, it will be remanufactured until we can get something that takes all the power. And it does support port injection.
Very good.
Yeah, RPM. So we are gonna fill up this transmission with 5 liters of ZF Lifeguard Fluid 8 lifetime fluid. So after filling up the transmission halfway, you need to start the car and fill it up some more. Yeah, this is weird. Oh my God, this is scary.
We added 1 more liter of gearbox oil.
6 liters.
So now we have 6 liters, yes.
6 liters of gearbox fluid. So the next service that you have to do on these cars every 60,000 kilometers that BMW does not do is your axle fluid. Your axle is doing a lot of work on your car. And in order for you to do an axle fluid, all you need to do is to suck out all the old fluid out of your axle using one of these sucking machines. So we are sucking off the axle to drain it from all the fluid. This car was actually really low on axle fluid for some reason. I mean, it didn't
oil from the axle is lesser than it used to be, like from other cars.
Is that a bad thing?
Yeah.
So I guess it's a good thing that we are checking the axle fluid before breaking the axle like you did with your car.
Okay. Thanks for that.
No worries. No worries.
I mean, it hasn't been changed in the past 100,000 kilometers. And then you need to add 0.9 liters of axle fluid until it drips out, bolt it up, and you're done.
Now I can confidently drive this car and abuse it. Until today, I haven't abused it yet.
But I saw a video. You're doing a donut.
It's not really abuse, bro.
Okay. So what do you call that then?
Driving your car. Next service that you have to do for your car, and it's absolutely necessary, is your spark plugs. Every 30 to 40,000 kilometers, you have to replace your spark plugs to avoid misfires, rough idling, and blowing up your engine, because spark plugs are cheaper than engines. Since we are going to tune this car, since we are going to be pushing a lot of power out of this B48, we got these NGK spark plugs, which are supposed to help you with better ignition efficiency. It has much more reliable sparks, improves performance, better fuel economy, longer lifespan, reduced emissions, and they are higher than your factory spec. So these are an amazing upgrade if you want to push a lot of power out of your B48. If you want to go for stage 2, you don't need them, but since this car is gonna be pushing a lot more than stage 2, I figured might as well. Ignition coils, you replace them every 60 to 80,000 kilometers. I'm pretty sure this car has never been replaced. BMW does not like replacing these unless you report misfires to them. Most people can't tell when their car is misfiring. So for the time being, I'm gonna put these back on because in a week from now, I'm getting Dynan coils, which are supposed to be upgraded. Apparently, these stock coils are quite good. You can push a lot of power with them. You must change your brake fluid every 2 years or 50,000 kilometers. This one is still usable. If it's red, then you can't use it, but this is still a little usable. An upgrade for these brakes very soon, so we will just change this fluid when we are getting the upgrade. So stay tuned for that video. Next up is your brake pads. They don't really have a fixed service interval. It really depends on how you drive. If you're aggressive on the brakes or do a lot of stop and go, they'll wear out faster. A good rule is to check them every service. Once they're under 3 millimeters thick, it's time to replace them. If you don't replace them on time, they're not only dangerous, they can also damage your disc. And your brake discs usually last longer than your brake pads, so I would change them somewhere around 30 to 50,000 kilometers. But again, it really depends on how and where you drive. So if you feel any vibrations when you're braking or you see a big lip on the edge of your discs, they are probably due. You should also always check for any cracks or grooves. And whenever you're changing them, you should always change them in pairs and make sure to use new pads so that the pads and discs bed properly. Your coolant must be changed every 100,000 kilometers, but since these B48s leak coolant way before 100,000 kilometers, you would never have to worry about it because you will always have to replace it before the due time. So I think that's a bonus with these cars. All your tensioners, pulleys, belts, they must be changed every 150,000 kilometers just to make sure that they're not corroding, they're not brittle, they're not snapping off. You don't want to be stranded on the side of the road. This car is ready to be going on track. We are going to be tuning the car, upgrading the brakes, downpipe, intake, wheels. Oh my gosh. How do I pay for all this? I guess subscribe so I can afford my mods.